Before we start the meeting tonight, we are going to be reappointing our council, and we will just start with our oaths. So, Ms. Jennison, will you be able to assist me? Before we start the meeting tonight, we are going to be reappointing our council, and we will just. We have feedback. Thank you, sir.
Oh, we're not doing it in Max this year?
Age order.
Age order.
Youngest.
Thank you, sir. Perfect.
Station.
This.
Louis, you might want to get on the other side. All right. Please state you got your hand raised up already.
Said I, Larry Artemani,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear.
that or affirm that I support the Constitution of the United States.
Step again, I'm sorry.
Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the
that I
United
will
States
support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas.
and that I will fully discharge the duties of the office
And I will fully discharge the duties of the office
of Tontitown Alderman,
as Tontitown Alderman,
upon which I am now about to enter.
which now I'm about to enter.
The term begins 1/21/25 and ends 12/31/26. You don't have to say that. Here you go, sir. I need you to fill out this paperwork and get it back to Ms. Jennison.
Will be.
Mr. Burris. Ms. Burris.
Hello. Better go on.
Right hand up. I, in your name, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Tim Burris, do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and that I will fully discharge the duties
and that I will fully discharge the duties
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
which I now am about to enter into.
which I am now about to enter into.
Your term begins at 1/21/25 and ends 12/31/26. Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
And sir, if you will fill out the paperwork and get it back to Ms. Jensen, I would
Will.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
I, your name, and do solemnly swear
I, Amber Ibarra, do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will support
or affirm that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and that I will fully discharge the duties
and that I will fully discharge the duties
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
Your term begins 1/21/25 and will end 12/31/26. Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you will fill out the paperwork, please, ma'am. Right hand on the Bible. Raise your right. I'm sorry, left hand on your Bible, raise your right hand. I, your name, do solemnly swear or affirm.
I, Danny Montez, solemnly affirm
Swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and that I will fully discharge the duties
and I will fully discharge the duties
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
upon which I am now about to enter.
upon
Which I am now about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Your term begins 1/21/25 and will end 12/31/26.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If you will fill out the papers and get them back to Ms. Jennison.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Piazza? Got it. I, your name, do solemnly swear or affirm,
I, Misty Piazza,
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and that I will fully discharge the duties
and I will fully discharge the duties
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
of the office of Tontitown Alderman
upon which I am now about to enter.
upon now I'm about to enter.
Your term begins 1/21/25 and ends 12/31/26.
Thank you.
We'll fill this out and get it back to Ms. Jennison. Mr. Wishkowiak. You got both hands. I, your name, do solemnly swear
I, Mike Washington, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and that I will fully discharge the duties
and that I will fully discharge the duties
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
of the office of Tontitown Alderman,
upon which I am now about to enter.
upon which I am now about to enter.
Your term begins 1/21/25 and ends 12/31/26.
Very much.
And back to Ms. Jennison, please. At this time, I would like to do the State of the City Address for 2025. Good evening. Thank you for coming or watching through social media. I'm honored to be speaking with you tonight. The past year, 2024, has been busy and productive for a year for the City of Tontitown. I am extremely grateful for our team. To help with the flow and production of the city, we added a Community Development Director, Mr. Mark Latham. He completed a conceptual design for a historical business district and completed the first year street maintenance program. Oversaw the selection of engineering firm with approval from RDOT from engineering contract of Highway 412 and Barrington Road. Received funding for the community building, completion of Fletcher Road, Wildcat Creek projects, as well as design of an overlay district for Highway 612 and 412. Completed Phase 1 and 2 of the stormwater plan. Implemented park fees, impact fees for transportation and public safety. Mr. Latham also started a coffee and conversation, a business networking program for area businesses, as well as many other projects and upgrades to our city. In our planning department, Brad Spurlock, city planner, and Madeline Parker, planning tech, have been just as productive. Mr. Spurlock became APA certified with the state of Arkansas. Madeline finished her coursework and is continuing to work on her APA credentials. The department finished this year with 94% increase in commercial building valuation, along with 39% increase in commercial permit fees. Together, they have implemented and codified a new fee structure for permits and are continuing to work on developing and zoning codes, along with new standards for upcoming projects and developments. I'm extremely proud of their accomplishments, and I'm excited for what they will accomplish this year. Our city inspector, Roger Duncan, has been quite busy. He has a total of 2,767 inspections, 2,035 residential and 732 commercial, along with 8 final commercial inspections and 123 residential inspections. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Scott Artemani and the street and park crew were able to complete the bridge repair on Reed Valley Road, along with street overlays on Liberty Road, Morsani Road, Bossinger Road, and Cordiana Street, as well as the intersection of Harmon Road and West Henry DeTonti Boulevard. Mr. Artemani, we appreciate the streets being taken care of. Our Public Works Director, James Clark, has completed several projects that were funded by the 2022 sales tax bond. Those projects included 4,000 linear feet of 12-inch PVC sewer line, 4,000 linear feet of 8-inch PVC sewer line, manholes and associated equipment on Clink Road, as well as 1,640 linear feet of 8 PVC sewer line, 500 linear feet of 12-inch PVC sewer line, and 1,110 linear feet of 8-inch DI sewer line and manholes on South Penalto Road. Water projects that were completed include installation of approximately 4,700 linear feet of 8-inch PVC water line, associated equipment, and along Wildcat Creek Boulevard. This replaced a troublesome 3-inch water line that now provides fire protection for that area. 11,500 linear feet of 18-inch DI water line along Highway 412 from Montagani Road to Highway 112, which will serve as the backbone of the city's water system and feed line to the new 1 million gallon water storage tank. Over the course of the year, 174 new water meters were added to our system, 38 repaired water leaks, and 190,705,061 gallons of water was sold to customers. Mark Van Dyke and the water and sewer team, which were able to add an additional employee, were able to tackle meter reading issues and fix them, which impacted our billing. The team was able to bring down the water loss from 35 to 40% loss to an astounding 20% loss. They were able to get all sewer system GPS located and put into the GIS system for location and map referencing. For our fire department, Chief Krug was able to complete the mapping of all fire hydrants in the city, complete fire inspections on all commercial buildings in the city, hire and train 3 additional full-time personnel, as well as purchase a new ladder truck. The biggest accomplishment completed was the new fire station number 1. I would like to give thanks to Chief Krug for the mountain, and I do mean mountain, of paperwork that he had to complete for this accomplishment. Thank you, Chief Krug. Chief Jennison, Captain Bowen, and the Tontitown police officers have been extremely busy keeping our city safe, serving 1,155 warrants, 813 FOIA requests, not including background checks for officers or in-house record requests, 2,398 citations, 250 accident reports, 9,948 calls for service, numerous amounts of narcotics were seized, and 4,324 district court cases. They had a combined total of 4,411 hours of training. That is a lot of training. Tontitown Police Department was the first department in Arkansas to have a police grappler system installed on a vehicle. The department was able to help 29 kids through Shop with the Cop program. A shoot house for active shooter training was built. Chief Jennison and the police department started and completed the first Tontitown Police Citizens Academy. The Tontitown Police Department was featured on an investigation discovery for stopping 2 dangerous felons in a U-Haul van. For financials, Pat Penalto, head of finance for the city, does an extraordinary job keeping the city in budget. The city's operating income is $515,050.01. The city had 11,355 12-cent deposit increase compared to 2023 for city fixed assets acquired. Fire department purchased a Honda side-by-side CPR machine, life packs, heart monitor, and air gag car lift. Police purchased 3 guns, 3 drones, grappler bumper, and a 25 Ford Explorer. Water and sewer purchased a 2022 Ford XLE lift station pump and a sewer pump. Streets purchased a 2023 John Deere and a 2022 Ford F-150. As always, there are still many things to be addressed in 2025. Roads updated, new roads attained for traffic relief, and continue working on storm drainage and other things to better our city. Thank you all for being here. We are now ready to start our meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mike,
Here.
Tim,
Here.
Larry,
Here.
Amber,
Here.
Daniel,
Here.
Misty.
Here.
Stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm seeking approval for the agenda, please.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Amber,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
Approval of the December 17th, 2024 City Council minutes.
One slight point of order. It says that a guy named Tim Burris was there, but that name is spelled incorrectly. Burress. Otherwise, I don't mind approving that, and I'll make a motion to approve it with the proper changes.
I'll second with changes noted.
Roll call.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Amber.
Yes.
Okay, I seek approval of December 19th, 2024 training minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes. with
Misty?
Danny spelled right.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Amber.
Yes.
We'll move to our financial report. Ms. Artemani.
Okay, this is for December 2024. City general income was $345,002.17. Expenses was $662,288.40. Left a negative operating income of $317,286.23. Water and sewer income was $474,757.65. Expenses was $579,273.02. Left a negative operating income of $104,515.37. Streets income was $91,845.22. Expenses $59,945.03. Left a positive operating income of $31,900.19. And some of those large amounts was out of the city general, and that was for legal fees. The fire department had the airbags and the safety equipment. There was contracts and also IT equipment and insurance for vehicles and a new purchase vehicle for the police.
Right. Our department records, museum. Miss Emily.
All right. So the Board of Directors for Tontitown Historical Museum met January 13th. It was a little late this month because of how the first of the year fell. So over at the museum, we are still working on digitizing. The agriculture room has been fully photographed, inventoried, condition reports made on every single artifact. The room also has new signage to help our visitors know what is on display, what the donor collection is that they belong to, artifact numbers in case they wish to view it at a later date. And the great thing, one thing that we looked at, every time I go to a museum, I look at their signage, I look at their displays, and a great thing that I figured out was using some vinyl strips, we can remove those. So if you are hard of seeing, we can pull those signs off the wall and you can actually look at them as close as you need to be able to see what the artifacts are. The digitization project, Julie, she accomplished a massive goal for 2024. She was able to move all of our items that we had in our old cataloging system, FileMaker Pro, onto our new system of Catalog It. And she has already started going through boxes to digitize. We had about 12 visitors last month. It was very slow, very cold too. So, and the holidays, everybody's rushing around and doing stuff. So it's pretty normal for the museum for December. We are super excited. At the end of December, we were approached by the Don Tyson School of Innovation. Their Just Serve Club was looking for opportunities, and they connected with us through the Just Serve website. And they are actually going to help us kick off our Amici renewals. So they're actually, hopefully, either this Saturday or next Saturday, going to be coming to the museum and just stuffing envelopes, getting addresses labeled and whatnot. And we're really hopeful that this will kind of build that connection for future projects. Officers, the board of directors did vote to keep all current officers in their position for another year. The standard is going to be moving forward every January. They will vote on those offices and just make any changes as needed. And we were also very excited that we had 4 very interested potential board members who all were offered to come to the next meeting to be fully approved, and they all accepted. And so next month, we will hopefully have all 4 to present at this meeting. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much.
One quick thing, I need to brag on Emily. She was recently appointed to the Arkansas Museum Association co-representative for our district. And so she will be helping do meetups and helping continue to gap this with the community. So this is a big honor. It's our whole Northwest Arkansas district. So I just wanted to brag on her for a minute because I know she's not going to do it herself. So
Congratulations. Very good. Thank you. Please, Chief Jennison.
For the month of December, we responded to 822 calls for service, filed 26 accident reports, served 81 warrants, leaving us 1312 outstanding, a little over 1.6 million outstanding fine amounts, 4,411 training hours for the year, 187 total citations, 3 for speed, 97 other traffic violations, 17 criminal, 70 improper driving, 496 warnings, 163 for speed, and 333 for other traffic warnings. Also attached is the yearly stats included in there. If you guys have, some of that was already covered. If you guys have any questions on that, I'd be glad to answer. If you have them later, I can do that as well.
Just one. I didn't want to Google this at home for obvious reasons. What is kratom?
It is like a tea substance. It's can be put in pouches or a lot of times it's used in a tea. It can go into the tongue and absorb. It's hallucinogenic, essentially. Arkansas is one of the states that it's illegal in. It's legal in Missouri and Oklahoma, but illegal in Arkansas.
So they can purchase it and bring it across the line. So that's what you
Yeah.
think. So, okay. And the grappler system, has it been deployed yet?
It was involved in one pursuit, wasn't able to deploy. The vehicle stopped before it was deployed. So
Thank you.
hasn't been used effectively yet.
when are you looking to start the next, you're going to do another academy this year?
Yes, we're about to meet. We're gonna have a department meeting for the new year, working on a few other things, but during our supervisor meeting, we'll come up with some dates on that and put that out.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Krug with Fire.
Evening, everyone. Fire report for December, got a total of 47 calls, 25 EMS, 3 fires, 10 MVAs, 6 false alarms, and 3 service calls. But the total for the year of 541 calls, it's a decrease of 111 from 2023. Our average response time is 1 minute and 11 seconds, and our average on-scene arrival time is 4 minutes and 47 seconds.
Questions? Thank you, Chief Krug. Public Works. For Clark.
Can we make this bigger next month? Just a small request.
Yeah, I think we could do that. The 412 water line project is substantially complete. Punch list was generated last month, and the contractor will be finishing up those items as weather conditions allow. Some items on the punch list, like repouring areas of concrete, will require warmer weather. Some of those will be put off until spring. This also means that the clock is started on our one-year maintenance bond. Any issues with the water line that come up within the next year, the contractor will be required to repair. The next big project for Tontitown will be the Highway 112 widening. Although this project's not slated to begin until 2027, there's much work to be done beforehand. All existing water and sewer lines that are outside of the existing right-of-way will need to be relocated outside the new right-of-way. The majority of this cost will be reimbursed by RDOT, except where we need to increase the line size of the existing lines. For example, from the Highlands Apartments to the south to Deering Road is a 4-inch water line. Obviously, that needs to be upsized, and because our standard specs call for a minimum of 8-inch water line, we should be able to get that reimbursed by RDOT. However, we're going from an 8-inch line to a 12-inch line, we will have to pay the cost of that upsizing. And the main location where we're going to do that is going to be from Highway 412 north to basically where the Heritage District is going to start. We're trying to plan for that when we can get some help with the cost. So it's definitely the time to do it. Where RDOT will pay for an 8-inch line, and all we have to pay for is the difference to get a larger line down to feed that area in the future. The more important and more costly portion of the 112 widening project is the Barrington Lift Station. I think I may have talked about it briefly in a couple of other meetings. But the widening and roundabout at Barrington Road will be taking a large portion of the property where the lift station is located. There's also a future plan to replace and upgrade the lift station in the 10-year master plan. There's, however, a better plan. This plan, which is on your project list and has been for some time, is the Brush Creek Sewer Interceptor. The construction of this gravity line will allow the Barrington lift station to be eliminated while increasing capacity. We're meeting with RDOT again tomorrow to discuss this part of the project and provide them with the preliminary cost estimate. The total estimate for this sewer project, or just this portion of it, is about $12 million. Fortunately, the replacement cost for the lift station is about $6 million. What we're hoping is that RDOT will agree to pay the replacement cost of the lift station, which will only mean that we have to come up with an extra $6 million to complete that gravity sewer project. It's not much if you say it fast. Anyway, there's more information to come on that, of course, after we meet with RDOT, and I have more to report to you.
Got a question about the 112 widening project. You said, when we change from the 8-inch line to the 12-inch line, we're going to have to fund that.
We'll have to pay for the difference in cost from the 8 to the 12.
Would that fall into would we be able to use our impact money to go towards that?
We could,
Seeing
yes.
how we said you said the Highlands Apartments have an impact on the city of Tontitown and the water lines, and now we're having to increase that diameter from 8 to 12.
Well, not necessarily the apartments. That whole line down
On that
112 is just the 4
That was
inch.
just kind of a
Right.
general.
Yeah, there's actually an 8-inch down to the Highlands. They put that in when they built the apartments.
Gotcha. Okay, but we're able to use that impact money that we're currently only getting 50% now. 50% now, but
Right.
we could be getting 100,000 or 100% in order to contribute to that.
Right.
Should we increase it to the 100?
Correct.
Thanks, sir.
Anything else?
Just a quick question. On the very top item there, the 412 water line project, is this completion of April 17th of 24? I know that's substantially complete. Is that correct? Or are we saying that it's going to be done April of this year, 25?
It'll actually be done, February, I believe the date's February 22nd.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next is our building report. Mr. Latham?
As I mentioned in the last few months, as you can see that our total residential actually permits are almost 100 below where they were last year. Last year we had 237. This year it's 141. So we're roughly almost 100 homes less than we were last year, which reflects not only on the valuation but also on the permit fees. The good news is that commercial's up. We had a record this year, not only on the valuation, but on the commercial fees. So anybody have any questions on that?
Is it necessarily a problem that we're down on residential when we're looking for, I mean, if we're down, I understand that's not growth, but we're looking for growth between 3 and 5% a year on the residential side. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it
I mean,
necessarily problematic if we're down 100?
Yeah, I think I mentioned before that we are in our inventory on residential lots. It's getting less and less. It's probably less than 15 now. We just got three permits, I think we're trying to pull today, and South Point, which South Point's definitely getting filled up. That might be the last three. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Do we know where we're at on that growth
On the what?
percentage? On the growth percentage, do we know where we're at?
For 24?
Are we at a 3%? Are we at a 15%?
Well,
I'll have to get those figures to you guys. I'll try to do that.
yeah, I appreciate that.
I mean, I can tell you, we're probably at 8,000 people today. So that tells you anything.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Okay. Moving on to my report, what we have going on, which will be a week from today on the planning. Willow Trace is one of the projects that originally had a preliminary plat. It's off of Kelly. That thing went dead for a while, a couple of years. It's being brought back with some changes. So the planning commission will take a look at the preliminary plat for Willow Trace. I did go through the process of the engineering review, so it's ready to go for next Tuesday. We have a property owner that needs a setback variance at 702 Kissinger, which really has to do with somebody wanting to build a shop, and it's too close to their property line, so they're asking for a variance there. Elsaw Center, which is right behind Casey's. This has been kind of a project that's sat here for the last probably year and a half. So Mr. Elsaw is getting ready to go on it. So he'll need an extension letter from the city since it's over a year old. Some of the other things that'll be discussed, as you know, really need to start looking at our codes, especially zoning codes. Then hopefully everybody will be able to be there at that lunch and learn, which is on the 29th or 30th, 29th. Yeah. We've got Tim Conklin coming in, and hopefully helping us kind of go through the process of where we need to be regarding our zoning codes, especially on the residential side of things. So look forward to doing that. Also, we're working on the design standards for the Heritage District. We have a meeting next week. We'll start working on that. I will tell you, we set in some design standards for, which is actually an overlay district of the 612, 412 area. And so we don't want metal buildings up there, and we don't want junk. This is our entrance to Tontitown. So when that develops out there, they're going to have very certain things that they're going to have to do regarding not only landscaping, but how the building facades are going to look. Plus, lighting and different things like that. So that'll also be coming to you all as soon as the planning commission finishes that up. And again, I just mentioned about the meeting with Tim Conklin, which is the 30th. See that on my notes. Street stormwater, as the mayor mentioned before, we finally got RDOT to give us a notice of proceed on the engineering. So Burns and McDonald is the engineer on the 412 Barrington project. They have assured me that they'll have a figure on the right-of-way costs along with the utility relocation, so we can apply for funds by April 3rd of this year to the Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning. And so then those funds would be available for 2026, and then in 2026, we'll apply for the actual construction. So that's kind of where we're at on that. As the mayor mentioned, our street maintenance plan, we're about 95% done. They still have to do some striping. They just finished up putting the parking blocks in and striping the parking area over here by the courts, tennis court area. Plans for Fletcher are about 30% complete, and Zach and his crew have been out talking to people about some additional right-of-ways. You know, right-of-way will be needed on the east side, excuse me, west side of Fletcher, over near Clink. So we'll be talking to those property owners to obtain that. And once we already have talked to the utilities, there will be some utility relocation that'll happen there with, I think it's gas and electric, but everything else should be pretty good there. Just signed a contract to get the survey done in the park area, along with, that'll help with the museum project they want to do. So hopefully in 3 or 4 weeks, we'll have that survey completed. That cost was $11,000 to get that done. One of the things from the reason for this is that part of this has to do with how the water is going to drain from the park and how that pond that they had looked at putting in, is that going to support, is the water going to support that pond? And so that's one of the reasons why we definitely need this survey. We're acquiring the necessary easements on Manigating. We've got 2 out of the 3, so hopefully we'll get the 3rd one here within the next 30 days. Once we get the easements, we've got a little bit of sewer line we've got to relocate, and then get the gas company to do their relocation. So we should be able to be pretty close to trying to get that project out to bid and get it completed sometime this summer. Wash your fingers. Yeah. Remember, we're going to use impact fees for that project. Yep. The only other thing is a couple things. James and I were in a phone call with Claude from RDOT, who takes care of all the projects for the overlays that we applied for in Bandini and Zupolo. They have got they've already signed a contract with a company called Garrett Excavating, who will actually be doing the work. So that's in play. He didn't give me a firm date on when that will happen, but hopefully that'll happen here sometime this summer, I think. It just depends on how they all coordinate that. The only other thing I could tell you is I did go to a meeting at RDOT today regarding the famous Clink traffic signal project. They've got a notice of proceed. I mean, they're ready to go. The only thing is holding them up to order the cabinet to actually change the signal. RDOT hasn't signed off on that, so they can't order it. So we're still about a minimum of 3 months away from going there. He did indicate the project manager actually lives in Tontitown. He lives out in Hinkley Meadows. But anyway, he told me that they probably will get Apex. Apex got to replace the culvert underneath Clink. And then they've got some widening of asphalt they have to do. So that might start before you even see the poles go up. So that is all I have, unless anybody has a question. I mean, there's, yes, Mike.
Um, how many landowners are we having to deal with the right-of-way acquisition for Fletcher?
Fletcher? I think it's 4 maybe.
Anybody on board with what the city's?
I mean, the biggest one is TriStar. TriStar is the one that owned that property that wanted R4.
Right.
Yeah. They are the biggest one that we have to deal with. The rest of them are very small. Not a lot. So, shouldn't, according to Zach, he doesn't think it's gonna be a large issue. So I'm just,
Probably involve some funds.
sure.
So we have,
Well, you know, I mean, they all want to, as, you know, typical try to trade, you know, we'll put this street in, you know, I will do the street if, and give you the right of way.
part of the deal that.
Of course,
TriStar.
we're not gonna do that. I mean, we're gonna straight up, we'll purchase the right of way and we will bid the thing out just like it's supposed to be.
I assume they're not trying to sell the land to maybe the people that have the development, it was North Rock that was doing the building for
They've already, I mean, that's already given. I mean,
yeah, I know we've already got that
Yeah,
right away, but
we've been talking to North Rock about taking the money that I think it was 530 or 40,000 that they were gifted
right.
to do their project. We would like them to give that back to the city. So we're under one contractor instead of splitting it.
Any chance that TriStar would sell to them, or are they even interested in buying just to complete?
They were interested in buying, but I don't know if they're gonna do it or not. I have no idea.
Okay, and that might help us a little bit if that were to happen,
That's true.
but, all right, thanks.
Yep.
Anyone else? Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead, Mr. Burris.
Mr. Latham, just a quick question about Purple Wave Auction.
Mhm.
I know that's the one out of Oklahoma, right? Big machinery, those are the folks?
Yeah, they sell them online.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, I think there was 5 items that the street department would like to get rid of. So, yeah.
And what are those? Is that literal equipment or is that stuff?
Oh, it's old side by side that doesn't run. Most of the stuff is just, I would say it's garbage. It's got some value to it, but you know, when you got equipment that sit around and you don't use it, you know, it just takes up space and there's not a lot of space down there to store. So I can get you a list of what you want to see.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Okay.
I mean, we can talk about that privately, but I've got some things I'd like to see on that list.
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Thank you,
Thanks.
Mr. Latham. Okay, at this time, we'll do the citizen comments. Any citizen like to speak? Hello, sir. State your name and address, please.
Mick Wagner, 409 Pennzoil Avenue. As you're aware, I filed a suit against the mayor for action she undertook in 2003. I'm not here to discuss the lawsuit in detail. However, I will summarize the events that led to the filing. In February 2024, I exercised my rights under the Freedom of Information Act of Arkansas, aka FOIA. I requested a copy of an invoice paid by the city. This invoice was dated 7/6/23 for $15,079.95 to the Mays Law Firm. I was concerned after reading details of the billing for this invoice. I provided this invoice to some aldermen who said they had never seen it. One alderman stated as a standard practice, the council never to that point had saw a monthly city expenditures report. Records show, however, that beginning in March of 2024, the council started receiving a monthly report for disbursements. Arkansas Municipal Accounting Law 1459-111 mandates that cities maintain logs for all disbursements. Over the next several months, I was hopeful that the council would discuss in a public forum detail of exactly why the invoice had been paid, but alas, that did not occur. I continued to obtain more details regarding the expenses of this invoice. This included requesting certain emails. In October of 2024, I was told that there were several emails responsive to my request and would be provided in short order. After waiting 2 days for these, according to Tontitown's ID administration of IT, whatever you want to call him, these emails had disappeared and could not be provided. In November of 2024, I requested email server audit logs. These audit logs show that several hundred emails had been soft deleted, a term used by Microsoft Exchange, for the city servers a few days only after I'd requested them under FOIA. On January 3rd, my attorney filed suit, and I'm sure y'all have reviewed it. I heard a rumor that the city had been reimbursed for this invoice in question. I requested a cash receipts journal. This journal is mandated under ACA 1459-110. Review of this journal shows that on November 18th of 2024, receipt reference number 13051 was provided to Mark Calcagney for $15,079.95. One could assume that's maybe a reimbursement. However, the reimbursement of this, if it was in fact a reimbursement, has occurred 16 months and 12 days after the payment was made to the city for inappropriate expenses. I'm asking the advice of my attorney if we need to amend the lawsuit necessary to recoup the interest owed to Tontitown's taxpayers.
Thank you,
Have a
sir.
good night.
Thank you, sir. Okay, anyone else?
Right. When I get going, I'll be out there, buddy. Whenever you look at, my name's Kenneth Lovett, 18702 Clearwater Road. Whenever you look into Google, search Mr. Mick Wagner, all you see is FOIA and lawsuits. Whether or not it was reimbursed or not, it wasn't charged properly to start with. Mr. Mays is full of crap. I didn't like him after I got him. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out of this, I'm sure. But my understanding is the mayor, if you don't trust her, we don't need her. But she has up to $20,000 worth of money that she can spend at her whatever's needed for the city. So anyway, tonight when I come by Eco Vista, it's terrible. I don't know what it is. It's not trash. So I'll be filling out a thing when I leave here. But anyway, you can't listen to trash. If I'm trash, don't listen to me. This man is something.
Thank you, Mr. Lovett. All right, we will move on. Approval of the city council. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there anyone else online that needs to speak? Any other citizen? No? All right. Well, I seek approval by the city council members to waive the 3 reading rule for all ordinances on the agenda.
I'll make a motion that we waive the 3 reading rule.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Misty, Mike,
Yes.
Amber.
Yes.
Okay, there is no old business. We'll go on to new business. Appoint a chairman for the 2023 Committee of the Whole meetings. Is there anyone that would like to nominate someone for the chair position?
I'd like to nominate Larry Armani.
I'll second that.
Second, third, fifth.
Step back if you're interested.
I'm sorry, I meant the 2025. Please amend that for the chair for the 2025.
The second stands.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry,
I
or
abstain.
Tim,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Amber.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Artemoni, you remain in. All right, we have no old business. We'll move, oh, I already did that, I'm sorry. Got a little behind there. Approval of an ordinance of the city council to establish a Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, Mr. Latham.
Anybody have any questions? I think we discussed it at the Cal. Specifically, I think it's a good thing. As you know, it will help us with our grant submissions and good chance of getting it forward. So
Just as a point of clarification, they are acting as an advisory board only.
That's correct.
They're not spending money. They're
No.
not doing anything like that.
And is there just gonna be an application for them to fill out, or if people?
yeah,
are
I think
interested, how do
after,
they need
once
to
we
come
get this done, we'll start advertising it on the website, or you guys can use Facebook and we'll get an application and take that and talk to people.
like we do with the foundation?
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
exciting.
Make a motion.
Any other questions?
Any citizens?
Mayor, I need to read the title when you're ready.
All right. Justin, would you read the title for that, please?
Sure will. City of Tontitown, Washington County, Arkansas, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Tontitown, Arkansas to establish a Parks and Recreation Advisory Board.
I make a motion that we approve.
Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Larry,
Yeah.
Amber,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
Motion passes.
An approval of a resolution authorizing the acceptance of a low bid submitted by Landmark Structures, ILP, for industrial area tank and water line project. Mr. Clark.
I think we discussed most of this at the Cal meeting. If there are any further questions, I'll try to answer those for you.
You didn't find any extra money laying around, did you?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
All
No
right.
envelopes,
That I'd make a
No, but-
motion.
no envelopes.
And we literally have one option and this is it. Is that correct?
Yes,
Bidding process, yeah.
Fantastic.
unfortunately.
I'd make a motion that we approve this and.
Well, then I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Thanks.
Mike,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Amber,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. An approval of a resolution authorizing the submittal of an application to the U.S. Department of Transportation, Rebuilding America Infrastructure and Sustainability and Equality. RAISE Grant Program, Mr. Latham. Mr. Latham.
We're close of getting this grant completed. I'm hoping that it'll be sometime on Thursday. Just to kind of give you a perspective on this, the cost estimate on this $12 million. Remember, we talked about this is in a rural area, so it's paid at 100%. So this is really key. I sent this information out to Congressman Womack since he's involved a lot with appropriations. Got him on the radar along with our fire truck, so he's well aware of this, but all we need is just a simple resolution showing that the council is in support of it. That's all it is.
And it's 100%.
Yes,
Okay, awesome.
including right away. We've got some really nice lighting that we'd like to go on that. So the other thing we need to talk about eventually, you know, these standards, these new standards that we're going to put some new light, traffic lights out here, you know, traffic signal lights on the intersection. Need to look at some kind of antique looking stuff, right? Yep.
Ornament,
Easy.
yeah.
Okay.
Easy now.
With that, I'd make.
Well, that's the kind of lights that we're looking at putting down Barrington that would be included in this.
Very ornamental looking, yeah.
There you go.
If I can,
Italian.
Larry's
can,
pretty ornamental.
if I can interject. for
Yes,
a
you
moment.
can. Since you picked something out, yeah,
I got to pick something out.
yeah.
Mark reached out to Josh Cranes at Cranes Electric and Drywall, and he had him look at some lights, and we looked at some of the lights, and I chose some. Hopefully, you guys will get to see them soon. But I wanted to say that we're trying to make it look like the old time Tontitown feel.
Yeah.
And
So when you come into Town on Barrington, and we'll do this on the north side too, is that you're coming into the historical area, all we want.
Give it some definition.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion that we approve this.
I'll second.
roll call, please.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Amber.
Yes.
Okay. An approval of a resolution waiving the competitive bidding and authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with MHC Kenworth for the repair of a fire truck. Chief Krug.
What would you guys like to know?
Chief, thanks for bringing this to us. I appreciate that. And after listening to you talk about the condition of the truck that you're having to deal with and, the sacrifices you guys have to make, driving down the road on a day like today, I can imagine guys in the back seat freezing to death. So I wish we could do more for you at this point in time, but thanks for bringing the estimate to us so that we can get you at least started on that to get some repair done to this truck.
How quickly
So-
can they get it
Right,
completed?
that's my
I'm so sorry.
So the majority of the parts are a couple of weeks out. The truck's so old that there's not a complete engine rebuild kit for it, so they have to piece it together from several different dealerships. Some of the parts won't be here till February 27th was the estimated arrival time. And they said about a week and a half to put it together after they get all the parts in. So we're looking at mid-March.
Chief Krug, how much is the truck worth? How much did we pay for it?
Don't quote me, but I think it was around 35,000 is what we actually paid for the truck.
So we paid 35,000 for the truck and we're wanting to spend 50,000 maybe plus to repair it. I want council to be aware of this and to think about this. Is it worth it? And if we do spend the 50,000 and get it fixed, there's no guarantee that something else is not going to go out on a 30-year truck. Is that correct?
That's correct. We can't.
Chief Krug and I have talked about this extensively, and I'm hoping that he's spoken with you guys about it as well.
Yeah, hopefully we can patch it up for at least a year till your new one gets here. That's when this one will be replaced with the one that we voted on about a year or so ago, right?
Sometime mid 26 is
It's
estimated.
mid 26.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
do we have a progress update that's sent to us by the company on this particular engine?
We
The new
will-
one that's supposed to come in?
We will when it starts getting built.
So they hadn't even started building it yet,
No.
but you did submit, the confirmation to them that,
Yes, our spot is reserved and
okay.
and the truck is ours. We're in line.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, throwing bad money after good, so to speak. But I mean, it doesn't even run now, right?
No, the motor's in
Wow.
pieces.
So, yeah, I mean, if, and I know there's no guarantee that this is going to work. And maybe you guys have other things, but I think we at least need to try it and hope for the best. I mean, if other options come, if you could buy one tomorrow for 100,000, that might be a better option. I don't know.
But I
Have
believe you
you-
said 250, did you not? It was a pretty standard price out there?
Did a 350.
So we've been looking at them for almost a month now. It quit running on Christmas Day, so almost a month. They vary in prices, but the majority of them to get one 15 years old or so is 250 to 350. 20 years old is maybe around 100, 150. So we just, and there's no guarantees on it. You might spend
Right.
150 on a used one and you might
It's shell
pay-
tomorrow.
So
Is this the one you feel most comfortable with, the decision that you feel as,
this is the cheapest route for right now.
but is that the right
Mhm.
That's
decision?
the right move.
Well, what you're
Cheapest is the
comfortable
right
with.
move.
I think to get anything that we're gonna want to have is probably gonna be in the $300,000 to $400,000 range.
Mhm.
So
Do
I
they
think
warranty their repair work for so long?
I have not asked them if they warranty the repair work.
On a 30-year vehicle, you probably
Probably
gonna have a.
Customarily, customarily it's the
I mean,
parts,
parts.
Yeah.
not the install.
I'm
Parts.
sure
I
the
just wonder if the parts are.
I'm sure the parts will have a warranty, but I mean, don't quote me on that because I don't have it in writing. But so we have the one estimate for the 50,000, 3717. And then I also have another estimate, which you guys don't have because I just got it a couple days ago. I went up there and met with them. So the stuff on the other list is to repair the rear windows, fix an air conditioning line, fix the leaks in the roof, and to fix the exhaust on it. And the estimate for that is 3483.20. So
34,000,
3,400.
$3,400 additionally to this 50.
Yes,
Okay. Why is that not on? I mean,
because
if we're gonna go 50, what's 3,400 more?
I'm just letting you know that I went up there and asked them if they could fix the other things that were
Oh, okay.
that we knew was wrong with
Sure.
the truck right now. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't guess that really has to go to council since it's $3,000, but just letting you know that's another thing we're going to try to have fixed while it's there.
So if
Kind of
council,
sounds like,
I'm
that
sorry,
kind of
Dan.
sounds like we're breaking it up. So we're staying, I know we're obviously not staying under the $20,000 threshold, but it sounds like we're breaking off $3,500. That way we don't have to bring that when it should be included on this.
That's
No.
what I was getting ready to say. If council decides they would like to do that, they can amend it.
Do you have a copy of
No
that,
problem with
Chief
that.
Krug?
I do. So that's not what happened at all. So what happened is we got a quote to repair the engine, and then I went up there and met with them after we had the quote, and I requested that they send over
An additional,
an estimate for the rest of it.
gotcha.
So, anyways, I can bring this up.
Chief, I
So-
know it's extremely minimal on here, but I'm just curious, what is that miscellaneous 3% amount at the bottom?
I honestly don't know unless that's like shop supplies,
Yeah,
maybe.
shop supplies, parts,
Um,
yeah.
I don't think the time to research and locate parts and, clerical stuff internally in the office. Do we know if we've purchased a truck for 35,000, we're looking at spending 5,300, or, 53,000. Do we know if we spent any other money towards this truck since we purchased it? I don't think we bought it in 93 for 35,000.
I don't know the exact date that we bought the truck, but it's, I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Gotcha. And is this the first time it's broke down and we've had to throw 50 grand at it?
No.
So there's other
This is the first time
20,000.
that I know of. that we-
Gotcha.
If I remember correctly, and I'm sorry to interrupt the discussion here, but I believe this happened when Mayor Colvin was here.
Okay.
And with that said, perhaps Councilmember Ibarra or Councilmember Artemani remember when? I don't remember when, but it seems like there was one other repair that was relatively minimal.
Is that the only Pierce? Because we got rid of one of the old trucks because it was, I think we almost paid them to get rid of it.
So we've
decommissioned.
still got the old ladder truck. And then we've got another older truck that's about the same age as this one.
I might be mixing up trucks. Do you
Right.
remember that, Councilman Ibarra?
I mean, I remember the purchase of it. I don't remember the extra work.
I thought we bought a $10,000.
This whole time I was thinking, I thought that thing was 10 grand.
Okay. This
So
is
I
the
think,
additional.
I think the old ladder truck might have been $10,000, and then the motor blew up in it on the way back, and it
Right.
set It's set for about a year, and then they finally found a mechanic that would work on it, and then it was down there for about a year, year and a half.
It was a
So
really
this
good-
isn't that truck?
No.
Okay. Okay.
So in your monthly search, that we've looked and we found 15-year-old trucks, that makes it a 2010 versus a 93. And we're thinking it's gonna be around $250,000 to $350,000. But we're still in the same boat of no guarantee of it running down the road for another mile after we got it.
That's correct.
This thing just has to last another year. Is that what we're talking about? Just
It
year and a half?
it has to last until then, but then also we need it for a reserve truck. We need something.
It needs,
We need something so that if the new truck has to be serviced, or if it does have a mechanical problem, that we have another truck to use. So, I mean, ultimately, but if it lasts a year, year and a half, that's the cheapest route at this point.
Gotcha.
Mr. Wishkoya.
Yes, are there lease options available out there? Like, can you go, like if I'm going to buy a car, I have an option to lease. Are there lease options available for fire departments?
I called one of the truck brokers and asked them, and they said that they would look into it. They didn't have anything they knew of, but they did not get back with me. So I'm assuming they didn't have.
Did you follow up with them, Chief?
No, I did not.
If you could do that, I think that'd be really helpful.
The current reserve truck, what are we running on now? I heard it's a 2-seater. But I mean, obviously it's a reserve truck for a reason as well.
No, it's actually a frontline truck. It just doesn't have enough storage space and doesn't
Okay.
have enough seating.
So it's adequate and fully functional. It's
Yes,
just doesn't have enough seats for our staff.
and doesn't haul all the equipment.
Gotcha.
So I mean, we're basically looking at brand new equipment going in it versus something we may need something immediately done to it. So I'm feeling a little torn.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan and I've been talking about this for quite a while, and it's the same thing. Both of us feel the same. So we're
Welcome
letting
to my
council
life.
decide.
Well,
I would know the parts are brand new.
Yeah.
That's the,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
they usually come with some warranty for the parts everywhere I've ever.
Yeah, but they're not.
This
No,
this issue comes pretty near and dear to me. I'll tell you my story I'm going through. I bought a used truck for about 35 grand as well. And I've sunk money into it, 10,000 here, 5,000 here, 25 here. And all in, I'm probably 60K into it after I've purchased it for 35. And then the motor blew up on me. So I put a brand new motor in it for 22,000. And then now, less than a year, I did all that in November. And now this November, it blew up again. Luckily, the repair shop that I had it done, it's under warranty, so I'm getting a new motor. But I've been out of it since November. I still don't have it to this day. But I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm throwing money at this truck, and I'm kind of in the same boat as the city is on this truck, where I've sunk money into this truck, and I could have bought a new one. A new one only cost 80 grand for me. So I'm in the same boat personally on this end in my business. So when I look at it and I look at what I could have done back then, I wish I would have bought the used truck, sunk a couple thousand into it, maybe got it to 60 grand and never put that new motor into it and just turned 180 and bought another truck. My truck is a little different. There's plenty of box trucks. I can go fly to Dallas or Houston tonight and go pick one up and have it here tomorrow. I've done it. My wife can attest to that. I've flown to Milwaukee and drove back in 12 hours. I've flown to Houston and I've gotten a truck back. I don't think I can do this for a fire truck. If I can, Chief, please, I'll be of assistance to you, but
Well,
I
we
think
also-
fire truck's a little harder to.
We also need $1 million if
Yeah.
we're gonna go get a new.
Yeah, I
fire
understand.
truck.
I understand. But I would just say, this does come to me very personally on I can relate to where we're at. So it makes it hard for me to want to do my due diligence as a steward to the citizens here to spend 50,000. I understand it is the cheapest option, but being that I'm going down this road 2 times, so to speak, makes it hard to swallow that $50,000 pill.
Any other councilman, women?
Yeah, may I make a comment?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. So this isn't your fault, obviously.
Yeah.
You've come into this position, and we're thankful that you're here. You may not be, but we're in a position where, as a city, we things are going to break. Things are going to break apart. Things are going to fall down. They're going to get lost, right? I mean, just things happen. In this particular case, we haven't had an emergency fund for such a time as this, and we need to. So it's something that Mr. Latham and I have talked about in the past. We just need to make sure that we're always putting money aside for the future, that we're ready, because we know something bad's going to happen. We just don't know when. With that said, if Danny probably had an emergency fund, and because of that, his particular response could have been different. I think, unfortunately, we're in a position right now where we just kind of have to get to the next step. And I've been there too, where I'm throwing money after a vehicle that's just a waste of money. But we do have to take care of our citizens, and we need a fire truck that works as soon as possible. So if MHC can get that running in a week or 2 or 3, that's fantastic. It's already been down for nearly a month. I love the idea of keeping something in reserve. We're just not there. So if we had 250,000, 350,000, I'd be the first guy in line saying, hey, let's do it. Even understanding that we may still have some problems. I just don't think we're there. So I hate the idea. I hate that we have to fix a truck that's broken, but I don't even know where this money comes from. And to come up with 6 times this or 7 times this, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
So
basically looking to y'all to help me.
yeah. So I am 100% willing to combine these amounts that you've given us and get it all done. But I personally, and I don't know how the rest of the council feels, I want to know this stuff as quickly as possible. So this thing's dated January 13th. I didn't hear about it till Friday. This other thing's dated January 14th. I didn't hear about it till today. So I need to know those things right up front. And I think if we know that, if you talk to each of us individually, I think we're going to be able to come up with some ideas other than being stuck here with an idea that probably isn't the best idea, but the only idea. At least those are my thoughts.
Anyone else?
Would you look into lease options again? I think we have to fix this today. I really do. But could we explore those a little bit further? And, maybe we'll get some calls back and,
Absolutely.
all right,
I'll,
thanks.
I'll follow around and see if there's
I
any trucks
appreciate it.
out there to
I mean,
lease.
we need to help you out too. And, I'm with Tim. I wish we had a check for 350 to 400,000 to write you one. I think we'd get you the truck that you would certainly get you through the year and hopefully be a good reserve. But, we've got to get this one at least up and running, or at least attempt to.
Mr. Artavani?
As far as I'm concerned, we need to do this. It will get this the quickest. Yeah, it could quit, but most of these guys, Daniel's problems aside, most of the time, if they're taken care of, and I don't know the situation, but if they're taken care of and they do it properly, it'll last, especially if it's going to be put aside in a year. So if whatever we get is going to be put to the side in a year, I think we ought to go this route this time. As he said, add the two together. I think, as far as I'm concerned, if the windows are down, tough times just make you tougher, but that's just me.
The one thing that sticks with me, you've said in the past that we don't know how they've been treated when you buy a used, and the fire truck is used rough. I mean, it goes through a lot. So me personally, I feel more comfortable with something that's going to be brand new parts inside of it, and we know we're maintaining it versus the unknown of what a used one would look like. So I feel like this is our safest option for right now as well, because we know what we're getting. We know how to, protect it for future, and just the unknown of what a used one would look like for us, just based on what you've told us on how used ones are. We just don't know what we're getting or how they treated it. So just something that's coming to my mind as we're walking through this.
All right, seeking a motion.
I have one more thing.
Oh,
So-
sorry, sir.
So these are estimates and not quotes.
Right.
So they are, I can only assume that, they have quoted, I'm just 100 man hours to rebuild the motor. And because it doesn't say quote at the top, it says estimate. So
Hopefully they're estimating on the high side.
If it's more than what we approve.
Well,
or
and it said, you know, right here, it says an estimate is only good for 90 days, but if they give it to you a week ago, it better be good for 90 days.
yeah, well, it's
Well,
on the
if they
13th.
find more,
so
if they
you had a
find more
week.
things wrong inside it, it goes up. And I'll tell you, the place I took my trucks to, I take it in there and I'm told, oh, it's only gonna cost 6,500. And then I already know by the time I leave, I'm about 10 grand in on that repair at 65. I always mark it up about 30%, cause they find something else that got ruined inside. So, yeah, it could change. I would assume we'd come back and amend the, what's in front of
I mean,
us.
I'm not an attorney. We'd have to ask Justin, but I'm assuming after we tell them to do the work that we're committed to.
Right, if they come back with a increased price, we'll have to take a look at that and see whether it would be necessary to come back to council for further approval. And it would depend on the amount.
Let's be optimistic. Maybe it goes down and I get to keep some.
Thinking that, Danny.
I make a motion that we approve this with the 53,000 number rather than the 50,000. Yes, $53,437.17, please.
There's not the number I. It's
I'm
not the
sorry.
number I had, but that's all.
Oh,
Okay, what would,
Well, I need to see the quote again, but somebody just showed me, Larry just showed me
That's what I-
30.
my mistake, $53,520.37.
37 cents. Yeah, that's what I.
roll call?
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Amber.
Yes. Danny, can you give me that number again, please?
53,520.17.
37.
37 cents. Almost had my memory right.
That's right. That additional estimate was $3,483.20.
Well, my reasoning is if Jamie has to make any corrections on here, she will know to wait on that.
Thank you, Chief Cook.
All right, we will move on. An approval of an approval for a resolution to accept the dedications contained in final subdivision plats approved by the city council. Sorry, I could not read that, Brad.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening. Any
Oh.
questions?
We have a first and a second. Roll
No,
call.
who seconded?
Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Amber, Daniel,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Spurlock, on the layout of that. I liked it. It was helpful. It's a lot more helpful this time.
All right, we will move on. Comments from aldermen. We'll start with Mr. Wishkowiak.
Very little to say. One thing I meant to bring up last time, and Mark reminded me at the end. Nobody said anything about the street improvements, and I apologize for being a little tardy and thanking you for that. But they do look nice, and it's much nicer to drive on. So I appreciate that. Also, for the snow plows getting out and taking care of the roads, that was very, very helpful. Had a neighbor. Good, super good guy, Jarvis Davenport, and I'll call him out by name. He came and plowed my driveway. I didn't call him and ask him. I know he did that for several other people. He's got a really big heart, and he did that for a few neighbors of mine. So it was good to see that. And can't think of anything else. I just hope we have a good 2 years and a good 4 years with the new administration, and hopefully things will run smoothly for us, for the city and the country as a whole.
Thank you, Mr. Burris.
Thank you, Mayor. I really very much appreciate the State of the City report that you give us every year. I think there are a lot of things that happen that either get noted at the moment and forgotten, or don't get noted at the moment. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate all that those that work here are doing. Really appreciate all the different departments. Chief Krug, I understand the position that you're in right now and how difficult this is. Thank you for getting through it anyway, especially to streets. As you know, I came here from Arizona, and so the snow thing isn't exactly new to me, having grown up in Cincinnati, but I haven't seen it in about 30 years. So when I hear a weatherman say anything other than it's going to be sunny and dry, I'm like, yeah, we'll see about that. So they said it was going to snow, how much it was going to snow, when it was going to start, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And it was like to the minute, and they nailed it. It was beautiful, loved it. My kids had a great time, but I was shocked and amazed, and inspired by just how well the streets department got on that, dealt with it right away. My road was clear, and I know it's not just because I'm on city council. I appreciate that. So thank you so much for clearing those roads and keeping our citizens safe. As for this current cold snap, I don't know why we have cold without the snow. If we can bring that back, I'm all in. But either way, bundle up, stay warm out there.
Mr. Armani.
Just more or less to repeat, I appreciate everybody. I come up here and everybody in every department is always very cordial and receptive. And I know they're going, oh my God, it's Larry again. But I appreciate everything you guys do. And honestly, the street department, I had more than one person say, you guys beat the state out there. Your streets are good and the main road was still not. So whether it was just a street or everybody pitched in, it doesn't matter. But kudos and gracias and all those things. And just thanks for coming out and beat them down on those estimates. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Ms. Ibarra.
I'm just gonna echo all the same sentiments, and even Taldo Loop, they, even the little bitty roads, they took care of. So yes, thank you to the street department. But that's all I have.
All right, Ms. Piazza.
Ditto to everything everyone's saying. Excited to see what's going to happen in the next 2 years. We've got great momentum going as a city and some really, really exciting things for us. We're trying to grow the right way. And I'm excited to see how that's going to go. Very thankful for our street department. We are, like everybody's saying, they're top notch. They know what to do. They know how to do it's just incredible. And I got several people commenting on how well the roads were. And just, I'm excited for this year. The market, we're going to be bringing the farmers market back. We've got the car show in the fall with the Bocce tournament, and then Halloween in the park. So we got some exciting things for the year. And if you'd like to see something else, let us know. We're always looking to grow our community. Thank you.
Mr. Montez.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. Looking forward to another productive session here on the city council. Thank you for swearing us in tonight, Mayor. That was very nice. I also wanted to let everybody know that this previous week I went down to the Arkansas Municipal League Conference with a couple other staff members here from City Hall, and was very informative. Got some news from the legislative session and our legislative leaders that are there, and was able to mingle with a couple of them. Robin Lundstrom was there in the building, and Steve Unger was there as well, and just an informative time. And want to hope to bring some of that knowledge that I've retained from there back here to the city and help us as we grow. Because I mean, we heard tonight with the planning department and what's coming our way, and we're not stopping on the growth side. Whether or not those residential permits are going down by 100 or so, we're still plugging away. So we've got a lot of adjustments to do as we grow and move forward. I look forward to it and excited to see what comes.
All right, thank you. First of all, I misread something in my state of the city, and I wanted to say 515,000. Did you catch that?
I did.
No, not million. It was thousand. But I just kept on going, and I thought I'll just catch it during the mayor comments. So I wish we had that much money to spend. Congratulations to Larry for your your chair seat. You're welcome. I know he's super excited about that. Want to make the city and the council aware that we, as several of you probably already know, we've been having some IT issues quite extensively. The company that we are currently using, I'm hoping to end the contract with them and find a different company that will be better to assist the city. Chief Jennison and Captain Bowen have been working with Mr. Lloyd, and he's actually previously worked at, I did just lost me, Corey. Telecom, sorry. So he's with Telecom. Telecom's kind of dissolved in their business. They're no longer in Rogers, and that's why we wanted them. I don't believe that they have the workmen to be able to come out like they originally told us. Is that correct? They're no longer, that's what I thought. So it's been very, very difficult. So I'm hoping to look into this, Mr. Lloyd, and see if he can help us. He's very familiar with some of the things that's here. I know that there was other workmen that was here as well, but anyway, I think he's done a really good job of answering questions and telling us some of the issues that he thinks that we can fix. I do also want to let the city and this council know we have had excessive FOIAs, and I'm talking 89,000 emails. And I want to try to draw you a picture to let you know what this is like. It literally shuts the city down. We have 89,000 emails. We have to print every email. We have to read every email and redact the information that needs to be redacted. Then we have to upload it and we have to scan everything back in. Then we have to download it into a file and send it. This is so time consuming. It literally shuts the city down. And I wanted to make the citizens aware that this is going on. And if you call up here, we had Maddie, bless her heart. She was here till 10:30 at night working. Leslie and Danielle have come down to help. So Luann came on the weekend. So I want the city to know that this is continuing to happen. Also, I want to say thank you for your support. I appreciate everybody. And that's all I have for tonight. Mr. Eigman, do you have anything that you would like to say? All right. Ready to adjourn? All say aye.
Aye.